So, VLOOKUP function. In this video, I'm going to show you how this thing works. And at the end of this video, you will feel comfortable working with the VLOOKUP. So, very first thing, why is this function helpful? Why is the VLOOKUP? The V stands for vertical. We're looking for something. How can it help us? So, why is it helpful? It saves time, and it's better than manually looking for the answers. Let's do an example. We have the city Rome up here. We want to find the population. So if we don't use the VLOOKUP, or we could possibly use the find feature, but if you want a permanent solution so that whatever we type in here we can find, whatever city that we type in this cell or this cell, that we can find it easily, we'd have to use the VLOOKUP. If not, you're doing either the find function or you're searching in here. Okay, Rome, what is it? Population. Okay, Rome, here's the population. I want this one. I type it in, and then Rome and the country, it's Italy. Copy, paste. Barcelona, where is that? Okay, it's right there. That is this population. Copy, paste. Barcelona is in Spain. There it is. Copy this and paste it here. Well, what happens if the population of Barcelona grows? We type in 2 million. Our data, our copy-paste method doesn't work because we have to go back and find the answer. Barcelona population, get this new number, paste it in again, and as you can see, it's taking up a lot of your time. So let's just remove this. And now we know that it's very helpful. It can save you time. So what can it do? The VLOOKUP can do one of two things. Look for an exact text match. So whatever is in here, Rome, in this cell we're going to find the population for Rome, or in this cell we're going to find the population for Barcelona by looking down here. So that's what I'm going to show you in this video. The second, so we're going to do this one right here. The second one, how to bin a number, we're not even going to get into that. That's another video, different purpose. So look for exact text match. That's what we're going to do. Now, the arguments. Excel functions have different arguments. Some are mandatory and some are optional. So I'll show you that with the VLOOKUP. So we've got mandatory or optional. In this case, for what we're doing, the exact text match, looking for exactly Rome down here or exactly Barcelona, and returning either the population or the country, we want to use all the arguments. So I'll walk you through that. So specifically for the VLOOKUP, we've got a bunch of things here. Lookup value, that's the first thing. Think of the lookup value as what? Okay? What are we looking for? That's simple terms. We're looking for something, and that is our what. Okay? So we've got Rome in this cell, and here we've got Barcelona. So we've got Rome, Barcelona. We want to get the population in the country for both of these cities. The next thing is this table array. That's a fancy term. All that means is where are we looking for our what, or where are we looking for Barcelona or Rome? That's the where part. The next thing, it's also a bit tricky. Column, it just says call index number. It's really column index number. So now we know what we're looking for, Rome, and then the one below Barcelona. Where would be this range. I'm just going to highlight it because, and it's going to go down a little bit further, but basically it's this rectangle or sort of box. That's where we're looking. The next thing is column index number. That just means for our answer, here it's population. So we want the population of Rome. Let me see here. That's a 3 because the city, that's the first column in our range. The country is the second column. The population is the third column. So we just put in a 3 here. So for this one, column index number, we're either going to put a 3 because we want the population, or a 2 if we want the country, because the country is the second column in our range. And the last part, see those square brackets? That means it's technically an optional parameter or an optional argument of the VLOOKUP function, but we definitely want to use this. We're not doing binning, as I already crossed this out. We are doing an exact match, so we want to be very specific and tell Excel, look for exactly Rome or exactly Barcelona. So now I'm just going to go up here and do the formula. Type in an equal sign whenever we do a formula. And the function for this formula, we're just going to do a VLOOKUP. You notice how as I type here, it has some suggestions. Functions starting with a V. There's only one that starts with a V followed by an L. So I can either just type it in or press the Tab key. And what is it, the first thing? Well, we know that is what? Lookup value. So here's our lookup value. What are we looking for? Let's just click in that cell. So we're not always going to be looking for Rome, really. Whatever is in the cell G2, that's what we're looking for. So I've clicked this cell, it's put in G2 for me. I could also just type it in, G2, and it highlights in blue. I type in a comma, or it could be a semicolon, whatever it says in here, just follow along. So the next part is a comma. Table array, that fancy term, we know it's basically just where are we looking. So I highlight the range. You always highlight the first column is going to be the column that has what we're looking for, right? Has the word Rome in here somewhere. Then I just move over to the right. This whole area is now highlighted. That's the range we want because we're looking over here in the first column for the city. And then our answer is either going to be the population, which is the third column, or country is the second column. So now, as you can tell, it's prompting me for a comma. I've put in the range. I'll type a comma. Column index number. Well, we know that, let me see here, we want the population. So 1, 2, 3. The third column is population. I type in a 3. Another comma. Now it's saying range lookup. As you can see up here, true, approximate match, we don't want that. We want false. Or you could also type in a 0. Same thing. So false means don't guess. I want to find exactly whatever is in cell G2. In this case, it's Rome. So now we've got everything. We've got all 4 of the arguments. What we're looking for, where we're looking for it, the column index number, our answer, and the range lookup. So now I have the last bracket on there. I'm ready to press enter or press the green check mark. I do that, and there we go. Rome. The population of Rome, let's look down here just to make sure. 2,649,000. That is correct. Now, this is working, but I want to be able to drag this formula down to also look for Barcelona. Or what if I type in let me see here. I want to look for Paris as well. Now you might notice that Paris is in capital letters. It's not case sensitive. So I'm going to retype Rome here in all uppercase letters. Hit enter. It still finds it. But if I were to just type in RO, enter, it gives me an error message. I cannot find the exact text because I put the false, which means look for this exact thing in here. RO is not there. So I put Roman again, and watch how it does. The case doesn't matter. As long as it's the same letters, same exact spelling, it does find it. So now, to drag a formula down, you just see how the mouse is a little bit thicker, the little icon. I drag it to the bottom right of the cell. It's a thinner plus. I drag it down, and it should work, you would think, right? But it can't find it. So let's just take a look here, see what's going on. I click in here. Well, this is correct. We're looking for Barcelona. So when I drag the formula down, look at what happened here. G2, that's correct. I'm looking for Rome. Hit escape key. Go into this formula. G3, well, that's correct. I'm looking for Barcelona, so it moved down properly. But it also changed this part, the second argument. So look at the range. Compare the range here to the range there. That part has changed, and we didn't want that to change. So I'm going to scroll up just a little bit here so that you can see Look at that. So we're missing, our range here is different. We're missing out on Barcelona and it can't find it. So what we can do, you don't want to have to come in here every time and adjust it. You could technically take this and move it up a little bit and fix that, but there's an easier way. Go to the first one, highlight everything between the two commas, or it could be semicolons for you. So highlight this little range reference and press the F4 key to put on those dollar signs. The dollar signs are all four of them to the left of the two different column letters and to the left of the two different numbers. Or you could just type these in. And it has nothing to do with currency. It just means I want to always look in this exact range when I drag this formula down. I want this to change. Actually, I'll just lock the column. We want the 2 to change more specifically, right? So I press this green check mark. We still have the correct number for Rome, so we look down for Rome. We go over to the third one, 1, 2, 3. There's our population. That is correct. Now watch what happens when I drag this down one cell. We get the proper, well, I think I changed this, but we're getting 2 million for Barcelona. So it looks in here now, and it finds it very easily. So let's click in here. You can always see what it's doing. It's looking for Barcelona. This is blue. This little box around it is blue. And this is the green area. This is green and this is green, so the box is correct. It finds Barcelona. The 3 is for the third column. City is 1, country is 2, population is 3. So D is 1, E is 2, F is 3. We've got it. Let's just drag this down one more time. And remember, it's not case sensitive. This says Paris mixed, and this is uppercase Paris. Go in here, go to the bottom right of the cell. It changes. Drag it down. There's our answer. Now, one more thing. Okay, so we can drag this to the right. We've locked the G, so that's going to stay on as a G. This is totally locked. That's fine. I drag it to the right. Oh, it's the same thing. It's the population again. Well, remember, population was a 3. Now we want the country for Rome. That's a 2. 1, 2, right? D is 1, E is 2. That's our range here from D to F. So all we have to do is go in here, change it to a 2. Hit enter, and now it says Italy. Drag this down. Now, you could also just put a 1 here and a 2 here. Or sorry, actually a 3. There's our 3. You could put a 3 here and a 2 here. And you don't have to have a number in here. It could refer to a cell that has that number. So I could click this cell, put a dollar sign in front of it, press enter. Notice how if I did this properly, nothing is going to change. Drag this down. Oh, there's an error message. Now why would that be? H6. Oh wow, look what happened. I didn't lock both things. So it's not staying on H5 as we see in the name box. It's changing. So let me go back to this. I'm going to lock both of them. Now it's totally locked. Green check mark, enter, drag it down. We get our answers. And I can also drag this over. Same thing happens again. It's stuck on that 3. Well, now we want to get the second one. So this is just referring to that cell. This time I'm going to just select, drag to the right, click the green check mark here. Now I get Italy. Drag this down, and we get the correct answer. So you can either use a number in here or referencing a number in a cell. Okay, so we've got all of that. That's working nicely. So now we want to look at what can go wrong. All right. We've already looked at the table, the reference not being locked correctly, right? When we couldn't find Barcelona here because it was starting in Belgrade, right, and going down. What else could go wrong? Incorrect spelling. See, this is not really looking for always Barcelona. Whatever is in cell G3, that's what it's looking for. What if I go in here and I'm not paying attention and I type in something wrong like this? There's spaces in here. Press the check mark. Can't find it. You have to spell it correctly. in order for the VLOOKUP to find it. Now, in other videos, I'll show you some tricks on that as well. But that's the second thing that could go wrong, incorrect spelling. What about errors? Well, we just saw one potential error. If I type in something silly, press the green check mark, can't find it. NA means it's just not there, not applicable. So I will undo one step. It's there again. What if, for example, we have another column here? Someone adds something to this, and it says comments. And for Barcelona, someone puts in fun. For Paris, I don't know, they say great. And for, where's the other one here? We got Rome. Fantastic. We want to get these comments in this cell here. So, of course, we're going to drag this to the right. And, oh, it's still saying Italy. Okay, no problem. So, in this case, it's referencing that cell. Let's just move this to the right. And I press Enter. Oh, it's an error message. Oh, well, there's nothing here. Okay, no problem. So, I'll put in a 4, because this is 1, 2, 3, and the comments would be the fourth one. Now we're getting a reference error. Why? Well, there is no fourth column. Remember, the D is the first column, E is the second column, F is the third column. We can't have a 4. So I have to go back up here and change this either by changing this F to a G, like that, manually. Press Enter. I find it. Now let's not forget, this could also just be typed in. We want the fourth column. So let's try this way again. Press Enter. Fantastic. Right? Rome, Italy, fantastic. Right down there. And what are we expecting to see for Barcelona, Spain? Fun. And for Paris, France, drag this down one more time. Great. So the last thing here is just a reminder, that fourth argument, the fourth argument here, we click in here, we see this, and I told you that this, whenever you see square brackets, it's optional argument. Well, that's true, but in this case, we want to use that and force Excel, remind it that we want exact match. So you put a false, or you type in 0, same thing, and it will say, look for exactly Rome, although it's not case sensitive, Barcelona, Paris. If it can't find it, it won't guess. If I type in Toronto, where I live, it cannot find it. It's not going to try to guess and find something close to Toronto. It's just not in that list, and it can't find it.